Hello, fire, water, earth, and air. A warm welcome. And I'm so glad you clicked in to watch me today. We have a good one up for you, so stick around. First, I'm going to ask you to give me a like and a subscribe here and Jamaican Scorpio Tarot. I'm the new kid on the block, fresh off the press, just starting out, have my little teeny weeny subs. So I'm asking you to join the family and help me build and grow the foundation. And I want to say a special thank you for all who took the time to sub and just watch me each time I upload. I really appreciate you. I may not know who you are, but from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful. So, emperors, empresses, kings, and queens, big up. Thank you for pressing that subscribe. For those of you who come and watch, and it's your first time, please consider joining me. As I say, I know you have your favorites. I know you have who you watch, and your subscriptions is full, overflowing, bursting over. You may not even have space, but squeeze me in, emperors, empresses, kings, and queens. Squeeze in your girl so you can help me out and build and grow from scratch. So, when things get off to a kickstart, I can just be so grateful and thankful to you guys who get me off the ground. So, we're going to get started with how to break soul ties. Emperors, empresses, kings, and queens. How many times you've moved on to a new relationship and you still feel dragged back? You still feel like you've not fully moved on. You still feel like there's your energy's been dragged somewhere else, like it's been split between two persons. Even if you moved on, there's something that's not done, something that's incomplete, that's keeping you unsettled and dissatisfied, uncomfortable. You can't, really settle into your new love and your new life. And you keep moving on and on, trying to find the next one, but your soul is tied to some old contracts that you have not released. And those old contracts may be of people that you've been in love with, especially if they were your soulmate, but things didn't work out. Soulmates have a longer tie contract on you. So I'm going to talk to you and tell you how to finally break those soul ties so you can finally have peace of mind, finally move on, and your new partner can finally enjoy you in full without pieces of you being taken somewhere else. So before I get started, I always draw a major because the major kind of just give me a general feel of exactly what we're going to look at in the reading, and it will help guide us through all the rest of tarot that I'll be pulling and all the rest of oracles. It will be that major guide that highlights exactly what is you can concentrate on to break that particular soul tie. um I'm going to go in each sign, so stick around. Don't in Although it's general, I'm going to make sure add a piece for each sign of what you can do specially, because water, air, fire, and earth kind of operate differently. So you don't have to use the same exact methods, but tiny little bits and pieces that's applicable to you. So whether you're fixed, whether you're cardinal, whether you're mutable, you can rest assured that by the end of this video, water, air, earth, fire, you are going to be breaking those soul ties that has been nagging you. So let's get started. A very special welcome to you again. Please consider subscribing to your girl. I'd appreciate it, and I thank you in advance for doing so. Also, click that thumbs up button. It helps out. All right. It's a beautiful day today, and I hope you guys had a beautiful one. And I'm going to be telling you exactly the things that you need to do to break those soul ties. From time to time you sage and you do all the things that you think you should do that's right, the physical outer things that you've dealt with and done, and you think, ooh, the high priestess is telling me right now that you guys have the ability and the intuition and the power and the know-how to get into what I'm going to be passing on to you guys in this message, right? So that's a great start. So let me get started. When you have a soul tie, it just means that you were physically intimate with someone else. And when that broke off, and whether it was with your party, your other party, or it is yourself, some part of you linger on with that person, especially if in this lifetime you had a contract with your twin flame or any one of your several soulmates. Those are harder to break. When you tie yourself intimately with someone, that the soul meshes, the energies intertwine. And so this is why when you move forward, you still feel like a part of you is just torn, and that is why you can't fully give anymore or fully feel involved when you move on, because you feel like, oh my gosh, I know I'm not in love with this person anymore, but why do I feel like I'm still attached to them? Okay, here's what you can do. If you have truly moved on, make sure that you have no intention of going back to this person, because when you break that soul tie and then you go back again, it's going to be even harder to break the next time around. All right, so spiritually speaking, you have to believe in your heart, your soul, your mind, and mentally that this is something you want and can do. Once the belief is taken care of, everything else is going to be okay. The first step to ensuring that you're starting to close it out and break that soul tie is to make sure you have zero contacts in this physical realm with this person. So no looking at their social media. Make sure that every social media aspect is blocked or deleted if that was something that you guys had together. Make sure everything in your phone, you go through your phone, and sometimes you have so many pictures and videos and warm cozy time that you get. If you have moved on, there is no reason to have certain videos or pictures of your ex. So it's in the past, unless these videos or pictures are directly related to if children are involved and you want your children to have direct access to some memories that were created with that person. Outside of that, there's no reason to have those, because if you truly move on, mind, soul, heart, and body, and especially if you have gotten yourself into another relationship, you need to take these steps to actively rid yourself of these soul ties. So make sure you delete everything social media wise, block everything social media wise. um no more WhatsApp, no more Insta, no more Facebook, no more Twitter, no more phone calls or messages or any of that. Some people want to maintain friendships with past exes. These steps are still applicable when it comes to the physical, intimate parts. So make sure if you still just want a friendship that's total platonic, you just maintain the boundaries and make sure those are not being crossed, because a lot of people maintain friendships with the hope that someday things can rekindle and there can be some form of relationship again. But you want to make sure that if there is no intention whatsoever to rekindle this fire and flame, and there's no going back to this, then you get rid of this soul tie. You want to meditate. And meditate don't mean you're going to go into this realm of a whole hour of just sitting and humming. That's not it. It's just consciously taking time to yourself when it's quiet, closing your eyes and just imagining yourself free of this person. So you're taking it to the spiritual realm. You're pushing it out to the universe. You're telling yourself in the subconscious aspects of your mind that this is no longer what you want. So you're going to meditate, but before it's best to meditate before you go to sleep. So that means you're, when you go to sleep, this is, you know, actively pursuing and developing in that aspect of things, right? Your inner mind, your inner peace, your inner soul. So drink something warm, your favorite beverage, something that comforts you, something that puts you in a sleepy mode, calm mode, relaxed mode. Your mind is on nothing else, so you're not going to be thinking about your day's events or work or your current relationship or situation. You're just focusing on breaking soul ties here. Allow yourself within this meditation to think back on the good times you guys had, or even the bad times, whatever your mind just linger to, because sometimes there are prominent thoughts that will pop up out of nowhere. It's just the thought that is currently available to your mind that your memory want to bring back. So whether it's good, bad, or in between, allow yourself to think of those good memories and say, okay, I've had them, they have served their purpose. And you have to say these words. I'm going to give you some words you need to say. You're going to call the person name and say, I release you. And call the person name and say, my contract is ended with you. I release myself. You at no point need them to release you. And that's one of the biggest mistakes some people make when it comes to soul ties, feeling like if there's not forgiveness from the third part, the next party, or feeling like there has to be closure or a conversation or an agreement for release. No, there hasn't. You have freedom of choice in who you want to be your soul tie and your partner. So when you enter these soul tie contract, you can release yourself independent of anyone else's permission, forgiveness. None of that is necessary. So once you call the person name during your meditation, and it doesn't matter, you can have candlelit, as I said, you have your relaxing beverage, whatever, just settle your mind, you're calm, and you're making this conscious decision of releasing this person back to the universe so that their soul can now be tied to whomever they're with or someone else of their choice. That's none of our business at this point, what they do. We're only concerned about you and you breaking that soul tie completely. So once you say their name, you can thank them if you like. Thank you for the lessons I've learned from you. Thank you for teaching me and helping me grow into experiences for my future relationship. Because every experience you have, whether it's good or bad, believe me, it's for your good, it's for your growth, it's for you to have those experiences. So when you move forward, you can understand in a better, have a better understanding of how yourself work, how you operate in relationships, and how other people operate in relationships. But when you don't free yourself and release soul ties, sometimes you bring the expectation from the previous relationship, especially if you were deeply in love, especially if it was your twin flame, especially if it was a soulmate, and you bring the expectations of that person and how they treated you and all of that in your new relationship, and that can create myriads of problems that you want to avoid. And so you never in fact learn those lessons or take the cue and answers from what you did in those past relationship, but you're still doing the same thing, repeating the same mistake, going through the same process, and you're not really closing out any cycle because you're just going around in a circle and repeating them. So to break those soul ties, as I say, the steps that you need to take, and I mentioned those, you have to really follow through with them. If someone contacts you on behalf of that person that you're trying to break the soul tie with, during your processing of breaking that soul tie, make sure you ask them not to. If they cannot respect that boundary, block that person or tell that person, you know what, I am no longer with this person. This is not serving me having a conversation about them. I don't want you checking in on me about them, and I don't want you to feed me information about them either. It's closed, it's done, it's over, and I do not wish to be updated on them. If this person chooses to keep on pressing you about whether the person is saying, hey, check in on them for me and tell me what's going on, say hi to her for me or him to, and see if there's a response and all that. And the person that acts as the intermediate between you two, maybe you guys had friends that were friends between both of you, and now that friend is torn about whose side to be on, or who to stay with, or who is the better friend, because they were just great friends together, and now they're caught between the giving you messages and updates and trying to report back and all of that, because they're still hanging out between you two. If that friend or family or whomever it is refuses to work with you with your boundaries and respect those boundaries, then you have to cut that person off, even if it's temporarily, if you don't want to make it a permanent one, so that your process of eliminating and getting rid of this soul tie for good is not interrupted or terminated. You're going to ask God for strength, because here you already have your intuition and your know-how of how it is that you're going to go through this process. I'm going to pull some tarot soon, and some oracles, so just be patient. I'm just getting into the final stages now of telling you how to get rid of that up front, rather than pull the tarot and tell you at the back end. Okay, just want it to go together. So follow your mind, follow your intuition, follow your heart. Ask God to give you the strength to just forget this person altogether. Remember, you have to say, I release you. Your relationship no longer serves me. It's complete. And I release myself. So once you release that to the universe receive it, understand it, and put your requests in process, and your heart begins to heal at that time. So your focus, your mental focus and drive and willpower, and making sure that you're not sending mixed signals to the universe. So you're not telling them, okay, I want to release this soul tie and I no longer want to have a soul contract with them. But then you're looking at their picture at nights and pining over them, and every post they make you're liking and commenting. Or if you're not even visibly liking or commenting, you're behind their back sneaking and watching everything on fake pages and so on. No, 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 no. That is sending mixed messages, and that soul tie will still be there no matter how much prayers you send up, no matter how much time you say, I release myself and I release you, because you're bringing it back immediately. So make sure that you are staying focused on detaching. Okay, I'm going to pull some tarot. So fire, water, air, and earth. I appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate you listening to this. I hope it works for you. If you're bonded to someone and you feel trapped, you feel bonded, you feel like a piece of you is just left somewhere, identify who it is that was your soul tie, that was your soulmate, that who you were deepest in love with. And there is where it's locked in, because you have to bring that person's energy in order to release it. If you don't know who it is, because your soul tie is tied up between numerous persons that maybe for years you haven't thought of releasing your old soul ties, and now you cannot figure out who my soul tie is, just do a separate meditation for each person you can come up with in your head, and you release them. Nothing will happen with the ones that it wasn't applicable for anyway. They were already released and nothing was happening there. So it's like just double jeopardy. They get released again, confirmation for that release. So okay, I'm going to start by pulling some tarots to better explain and understand how each sign by elements, so I'm going by water, earth, air, and fire, how you can better proceed. because it does help when you get a better, deeper understanding of your own situation rather than just general collective, and then it works for someone else but it doesn't work for you. So I'm going to try and pinpoint it down for you and give you a better understanding how to proceed with breaking that soul tie. So as I said before, if you're a candle lighter, you can light a white candle. If not, just light, if you have sage, do sage. But the physical outer part of the things is not really what's going to do it. I'm going to tell you the truth straight up, because you could blaze your house with sage. It's not going to let go of those soul ties with you over the years you are, over the months, or over the period in which you've been separated. You haven't let go of the soul tie, and I'm sure you've been burning your sage or your candles or so on. So that's not how it works. It's more mental and spiritual in that realm, because it's a soul contract that you made. So to break that and to release it takes more than just lighting candles and burning your sage. So I appreciate, there you go. I appreciate you guys being here. So here we go, water. This is going to help me decide how, wow, Three of Pentacles. So water, this is telling me that you need to address friends, any friendships that you have, any relationships that you have, whether it's in the community, whether it's with friends, whether it's family, anything that's social, online, and all of that. You need to break those in order to break your soul tie. So as I said earlier, you may have friends that are friends with your person, and you're still friends with them, and they're low-key giving you update on what, oh, I saw George today and he looks so good, or I saw Pam today and she had a guy on her arm, and low-key giving you updates of what's going on, what they're seeing, the to and from, carry, go, bring, come, he say, she say type of thing, what they see, what they observe, and you don't want that anymore. So you're going to have to stop that in your circle. So for all water signs, you're fixed. And if that does not happen, you're still going to be bonded and soul tied to this person, because you're not releasing that altogether. That means low-key you're telling the universe that, I'm comfortable hearing the stories, I'm comfortable hearing the updates. They give me a sense of, okay, knowing what's going on, because there might be hope still in your mind of a comeback. Or if there's no hope of comeback, you're trying to hear if the person is getting the karma that they deserve, or if something is happening, or making sure they don't have someone that seemingly is better than you, or prettier than you, or handsome than you, or all of that rigmarole. It's not necessary. If you're moving on with your life, you're moving on with your life. None of that is necessary anymore. Clean out the clutter, clean out the trash, release your mind, help yourself be mentally clear, and your heart and your spirit and your soul, so that when you find the love of your life, if you're currently with that love, or pursuing that love, or trying to find that love, you're searching for it, when it comes, there's no blockage for receiving that. Because sometimes when you have your soul ties and you move on to another love relationship, and you're trying to tie your soul with that new soulmate, there is a blockage because they're feeling the energy of someone else. And that is why this person is prone to either accuse you of cheating, or feel like you're thinking about somebody else, or feel like you're tied elsewhere, or feel like it's like their sixth sense is telling them something is not right. You're not all into it. You feel it, the soul feel it, the energies feel it. When you do what you do, that you just they feel like you're distracted, or you're not fully there. So if these things are happening to you, this is why your soul is tied elsewhere, and you're not realizing that you have not released yourself and the person of that soul tie contract, and you're still bringing it over into another relationship, expecting this relationship to work smoothly and perfectly when you are not ready for that. In order to fully love and fully give of yourself to someone else, you have to make sure you're terminating those soul ties along the way. So for you, that's what you need to do, water sign. Fire sign, let's find out what is applicable for you guys to release yourself of this. Fire signs, soul ties, how to break angelic self. How do fire signs break their soul ties in addition to all the information that they get? There you go. Oh, wow. So fire signs, this is so you. This is so you. Nine of Wands. This is saying you have to work a little harder than you're working on breaking that soul tie because you may not be ready mentally. Physically, you may have moved on, but mentally, you're not prepared on leaving this behind. A lot of people sometimes have children with these soul ties, and so they feel like they are forever bonded together. However, as I explained, breaking a soul tie between someone you have children with has nothing to do with maintaining a friendship or co-parenting or continuing to having some form of relationship that will cause you to not block that person out altogether. What will happen is that this Nine of Wands is like you have to work a little harder on putting this person out of your mind. Sometimes what happens in a relationship, it's so heartbreaking, or it's so much, or you gave so much, or you put so much in, and you feel like there's just so much to lose and you can't let go of it. It's time to let go. It's time to let go. Because if you don't, you're going to keep yourself trapped and in bondage with these soul ties, moving on, and yet never fully able or capable of falling in love with someone else who can offer you that love and who deserve your complete love and attention, vice versa. Now let's see for Earth. Earth signs. How does Earth sign move? How does Earth sign break their soul ties, angelic self? How does Earth signs break their soul ties? How does Earth sign break their soul ties? Please give me a thumbs up, guys. I appreciate you being here, sharing your time with me. I hope this is helpful for some of you, and you guys can put it in action immediately, and you're gonna see how relieved you are and how things work so much better in your relationship, and how light you are, the burden that comes off your shoulder because you're carrying it around with you, not even knowing that that's the case. You're bringing around all these people with you in your heart, in your soul, in your subconscious. The universe is just locked that in for you. All right. So Earth, you got 2 here. Oh, wow. This is so earthy. You have 6 of Pentacles. And you have 7 of Wands. So what this is saying, Earth, is that you are going to have a little bit of defensiveness if you should approach this person about breaking a soul tie, or about, oh, let's talk and just finally give each other peace of mind, have a have a conversation of truth where you can finally move on, or just pretty much have closure. You're going to really face some pushbacks. So instead of, they're going to be in a defensive mode. So instead of, as I said, you do not need permission. You do not need to seek. You can seek forgiveness if you want, because asking someone to forgive you if you've done wrong to them and them not forgiving you, that's not no longer on you. You've asked for forgiveness. You can just go on and release this without this pushback that you're having. Sometimes when you're having pushback and you're working hard, you have enough. You have enough knowledge and intuition and strength to move on with this. You are balancing between this and what's to come. So you can balance it. Do not worry about the pushback or what's negative or what's pulling at you or what's fighting at you. If this is what you want and this is what you truly desire, earth signs, go ahead and move forward with it. Just make sure you're not sending any mixed signals here, because it looks like you want to give and take. You want to give and take. So be careful of that if you're trying to break the soul tie, because you're just re-knotting yourself in that rope again if you are not doing it clear and having clear boundaries set for the universe to clearly understand what you want and give that to you. So we're going to go to, let's go and find out here from air. Help me, Angel Excel, figure out what will help air to break their soul ties. What will help here to break their soul ties? What will help air to break their soul ties? So, air, Aquarius, Gemini, Libras, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Air signs. What will help air signs? Angelic self. What? Okay, here you go. Whoa. Wow. Okay, let's see. So here you have the 7 of water, which is the same as 7 of cups. Woo! You are not ready to break your soul ties. You're overanalyzing the situation. You're overthinking it. You're procrastinating. You're just waiting. You feel like there's choices here. Like, okay, you know when you keep options and choices. So you move on, or they moved on, but you have not fully, you're not fully ready to give up on that just in case, or if, or maybe in the future, or if things change or get right or get better, or if they don't marry, or if they don't find anyone, or if they can't stop thinking about me, or if they are chasing me forever and ever, all sort of excuses here. But currently, you guys don't want to move on. So if you are not completely ready for any process, there's nothing or no one, to include myself, should force you to. You have to be completely prepared. Just understand that if you do not break soul ties, you already know what happened. When you give yourself to someone else, the incompleteness will be there. The hole in your heart will be there. The dissatisfaction will be there. They're not feeling satisfied either. So if your partner is feeling like you're not giving your all, or you're not always there, or there's just something always off, it's one thing or another. I cannot list the myriad of things that can go wrong in a relationship, or how a partner may feel about you. But a lot of these issues and problems that come up in relationships is because you are soul tied, you're energetically connected to someone else, and so you cannot 100% give of yourself on your love, because it's drained elsewhere, it's connected elsewhere, it's not here, it's not all here, and they feel it too. And sometimes, and in many cases, your partner is doing the same thing. Their soul is tied and attached to someone else. So both of you are now at an impasse, because both of you are dragged between trying to love each other, trying to solve your issues and problems, and don't even know where to start, because they seem to resurface in one area or another. no matter how you patch this one up, another one seem to pop up. It's like zits on your face. You squeeze this one, another one pop up over there. So that is the case. So I want you to be aware of that. But it's okay if you're not ready. This video is to explain how to break your soul tie for good, for those who are ready and for those who are spiritually able to receive it and mentally prepared to take back their power, take back their love, take back their energies that they have scattered out there and that they have distributed somehow, and not knowing that that's the case, and is now coming to realization that this is the case, and how to bring back that power within them, for them, and to fully 100 be whole and complete again where your soul is concerned, in the physical realm of making sure that when it comes to intimacy and connections, you're breaking those off in full when they no longer serve you, when you have learned your lesson, when you have completed your cycle. So thank you, Fire, Water, Earth, and Air, for being here. Give your girls a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Jamaican Scorpio Tarot is so appreciative, and thank you in advance. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'll see you in the next one. Check out the next videos. I'm going to be doing all the different signs, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to start them right now, but they're going to be uploaded in the morning because it's late night. So I'm just going to do them right now and then rest up and then upload them early morning or late morning, depending on when I get up, because it's late right now. So much love and appreciation. Thank you for being here. Fist bump, enough respect, emperors, empresses, kings, and queens. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Subscribe.